YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Bananas Epic Gaming, and today in Bananas Epic Gaming we are doing the 7-round 32-team mock. And keep in mind, this is just what I would do, and I'm gonna try and go based off of cage stock. Cage stock is my locked-in first round, but I'm just gonna do this for fun. This is the finale of Mind of a GM. So welcome to Mind of a GM 33. The 7-round mock for all 32 teams. Please be sure to smash that like button, tap the little bell on that YouTube app so you guys never miss an upload. And here we go. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock. I'm going to do trades in this one too. But as much as the Jaguars would like to move out of this spot, I don't see them doing that. I have heard from a few sources and a few people that it's going to be a defensive lineman. They're going to go defensive line. No, it's not defensive lineman. It's an edge rusher. Edge rusher Trayvon Walker from Georgia. Now, Walker is the pick. Is it the right pick? Yeah. You can go Walker or Evan Neal. And if that's the case, then pick number 2 should be an instant pick. Aiden Hutchinson. The Detroit Lions go get a guy that's local. Yeah. Now, if you're the Houston Texans, this is the best thing that could happen to you. Because now, you can take anybody. Because you need almost every position that there is. And Texan fans, I'm sorry. Yeah, so far the only pick that has changed from cage stock is the first pick. And it's going to be this pick, because I had the Houston Texans going Kayvon Thibodeau, defensive end from Oregon. But there's been some reports coming out that some teams are turned off by him. So let's have the Texans go get a lockdown tackle. And that is Ikwanu from North Carolina. Yes, Evan is not the first tackle off the board. And yes, that is a little shocking. But I like Ikwanu. I've watched more tape on him, and I think he's a better fit. Now, originally, we had the Jets going DB and guard / tackle. They went Ikwanu, and they went Derek Single Jr. But I'm going to have to go Drake London here. I like Drake London. I think he's going to have a tremendous career. And we give Zach Taylor one of the top weapons in the draft. Now, the New York Giants are on the clock. And the Giants, they won Cross. And I'm going to have them stick with Charles Cross here. You get your offensive lineman, and then you just have to worry about the Carolina Panthers. And the Carolina Panthers, I have them take Sauce Gardner, because I think it would be better to have 3 good young DBs. But I'm going to switch it up just for this mock and I'm gonna have them go Evan Neal. Evan Neal, your fall stops here. And the Giants, you know what? Because I've heard that like one of the only teams that would give Thibodeau the chance is the Seahawks. But I'm gonna let Thibodeau go to the Giants. The Giants can afford high risk, low reward. The Falcons, they really don't. They can go in multiple spots. Excuse me. Guard, center, D-line, DB. And of course, I'm going to have them go Derek Stingley Jr. We're going to get a little bit younger in that defense. Or, no. Derek Stingley Jr. Now, for the Seahawks, they need a tackle, they need edge, they need DB, they need QB. I might have them go. I might have them go QB here. No. Yeah, I'm having to go QB here. I'm having to go Matt Corral. No. Because Matt Corral, I had Matt Corral go in my first round mock that I did earlier this year. Let's have him go. Jermaine Johnson Jr. the second. Edge is in need. It fits in need. And because all the good DBs would be gone. I mean, all the good edge rushers would be gone. And the best DB just got taken because Amar the Sauce Gardner is going to New York. As is Tyler Lindebrand. We got to protect our guy who is our guy right now in Carson Wentz, and you can get a receiver in a second. I'm gonna have Trent McDuffie go to the Minnesota Vikings, and then that brings us to the 13th overall pick, and that 13th overall pick is gonna be the Houston Texans. Like I said earlier, they need every position. I don't see them taking a QB. They went Ike Ekwonu with the third pick. And I'm going to say they go Jordan Davis here. They're going to try to rebuild that defense front. And they're going to try to get younger. And if they do somehow suck next year, they can get their guy next year. For the Baltimore Ravens, Devontae Wyatt. The Ravens need help in the defensive line, and they get arguably the best guy on the board. The Philadelphia Eagles with their first of two. They had 3 first-round picks, but they traded one, and they got an extra one next year. Again, well, on the Ravens, I'm gonna go Devin Lloyd. I'm gonna get a linebacker, and I'm gonna hope that I can get the best guy on my board. QB. The Saints need a QB. But they also need a wide receiver. And I'm going to say Garrett Wilson. Because to me, it seems like he'll fit their scheme more. And the Chargers are on the clock. I'm going to do something that I didn't do for the Chargers. I'm going to give them Kyle Hamilton, because that backfield with Kyle Hamilton and Derwin James, that would be deadly. Now the Eagles, they want linebacker and they need DB. The Eagles probably would have went with Kyle Hamilton like they did in my mock. But the DBs are gone. So this is one team that I could see trading down. And that's what they're going to do. I'm going to have the Patriots trade up 3 spots and give up a third. The Patriots are on the clock, and they take Jameson Williams, wide receiver. They jump the New Orleans Saints, because that would have been the New Orleans Saints pick. And with that, I'm going to have the New Orleans Saints take their quarterback. I think this would be the right deal to make, because you can always get that 5th-year option with a first-round pick, and you can start Jameson Winston, let Willis sit, study, learn the playbook, and Willis will be your guy. Now the Steelers. Now the Steelers are a team that I could see trading down if Willis is gone. But the Green Bay Packers, I'm going to have the Green Bay Packers make a trade. I'm going to force that trade. Packers jump 2 spots. And the Green Bay Packers, I'm going to have them take to make Aaron Rodgers really happy. Chris Olave. They jump my Arizona Cardinals. And they get Aaron Rodgers a wide receiver in the first round for the first time in like 22 years. So Devin Lloyd, I'm going to say Andrew Booth Jr. is the pick here. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. This might be a reach, but I'm going to have them go Desmond Ridder, quarterback. Cincinnati. He's now my number 2 ranked QB. And I think he would do tremendous in Pittsburgh. Buffalo Bills are on the clock. And we're going to... they're about to be on the clock because Arizona's about to trade down. And Arizona trades down, gets 4 additional picks, and the Bills are gonna try and get their guy, and that's gonna be wide receiver Treylon Burks. Or hang on. They need D-line. there's a guy that will be there because he would have been an option for the Cowboys, and that is defensive lineman Travis Jones from Kentucky. Now, with Jones gone, the Cowboys are on the clock, and they need interior line help. They got to protect their guy. And normally, I would go... Hey, what happened to Linda Brown? Oh, Linda Brown's gone. I'm going to have him go Zion Johnson. Johnson, he can play center and he can play guard, and that will help the Cowboys in the long run. Now, the Cardinals are here at pick 25, and they're not going to trade down. They're not going to do anything. George Kalafis, I think he would be a tremendous replacement from Chandler Jones. He's coming in to fill big shoes. He can learn from J.J. Watt, and I like the pick. And now we come to the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, they need help. So I'm going to have them go wide receiver. I'm going to have them go Sky Moore. They need somebody to place with A.J. Brown, and especially if they trade A.J. Brown, they can try and groom Sky Moore. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock. Tampa Bay, they need a guard, they need a center, they need D-line help. Logan Hall is a good pick. But you go and look at the interior line, and Kenyon Green is still there. So I think Kenyon Green would be the pick here. You protect Tom Brady, and you try to give him more protection. Now the Green Bay Packers are back on the clock, and they took a wide receiver with their first round pick, and they need interior line help on the offense. The offensive line help, I'm sorry. Let's go with Trevor Penning. Try and replace Brian Bulaga here. Now, wide receiver is going to be an option. You have 4 really good guys, and another guy who could possibly sneak into the first round, and Christian Watson. But I'm going to have them go John Donson, wide receiver at Penn State for the Kansas City Chiefs. You get maybe your Tyreek Hill replacement, and you hope that he can fill those shoes. While you come over here and you take Kyer Elam with your second first-round pick. That just falls perfectly. And now the Bengals are a team that I could see trading down. But also not. So I'm going to take Bernard Raymond, tackle, Central Michigan. He could be an option here. Leo Chanel could be an option here. Or Quan Brewster could be an option here. There's a lot of options here for Cincinnati. But I would look to see who is up. And who did the Giants take? Hang on. Okay, so they want tackle and they want guard. Edge rusher. So the Giants could trade down. Atlanta Falcons. Remember the Atlanta Falcons trade up. Cincinnati gets a 4th next year, a extra 2nd, and a 3rd, and a They get 43, 72, and 114 for pick 31. Now the Atlanta Falcons are back on the clock. In the first, they took Derek Stingley Jr. So obviously, they're going to come up for a quarterback. They're going to jump the Detroit Lions, so the Detroit Lions can get a quarterback and maybe use that on them. I'm going to have them go Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's going to be the guy here. And with Kenny Pickett off the board, that's only 2 quarterbacks taken so far. Because this quarterback class, man, is kind of weak. I'm going to have the Detroit Lions at the end of the first round go linebacker Nakobe Dean. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they went D-line. I'm going to have them go Lewis Chin, safety from Georgia. I like that pick. And now the Lions, they went linebacker. They went edge rusher. They could go DB. They could go QB. Because you can get out of that Jared Goff contract next year. I'm going to have them go Sam Howell, quarterback at North Carolina. That way, in case they do want to get out of that, they have somebody that they can start. Now, the New York Jets, the team that won Drake London and they won Ahmad Sauce Gardner. Tyler Smith seems like a logical option here. Protect Zach Wilson, give him more time to throw the ball. That seems like the easy option, right? Zach Wilson's the pick. Now with the New York Giants on the clock, they went Cross and they went Kayvon Thibodeau. Now, with Cross and Thibodeau, you have a big need, a linebacker. Leo Chanel. He's the 3rd best linebacker in the class. And I think he'll be a big need filling position. And then the Houston Texans are on the clock. They took Icky and they took Jordan Davis. Like I said earlier, the Texans, they need every position on the board. So no position is out of question here. I'm going to have them go Bernard Raymond, tackle. They get the number 18th position. And see, if I'm Arizona, I'm sitting here. And I see a certain somebody free falling. I make a call and I see if they would want to trade. And say I would trade up. Arizona just traded up. They got rid of 2 late round picks. Pick 168, which looks like that will be round 5, and then round 7. So we gave up the round 5 pick. We did all that so we could move up potentially. And Treylon Burks is here in this scenario. So is George Pickens. But I'm going to go with Traylon Burks. And the Bears, back-to-back receivers, George Pickens. Yes, the Bears, they used their first pick on a wide receiver. The Seahawks, Matt Corral. You need a QB. I don't believe that Drew Lock is the answer. Matt Corral seems to be a better option. He seems a little better than Drew Lock. So that, to me, is an easier pick. They're back on the clock again. I'm going to have them go Abraham Lucas. Now, the Colts, who would have taken a QB, they possibly would have taken Pickens. They are left with slim pickings. And there's some good receivers here. I'm having to go Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver, Southern Alabama. Give them another guy for Matt Ryan to throw to. Now the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. Dylan Parham is the pick. Is the best guard on the board. But Jalen Pitre could be an option here, and I'm going to have them go him because it's a need. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock. Now, the Cleveland Browns, they need wide receiver, they need edge rusher, / D lineman. I'm going to have them go Christian Watson. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, they took D-line. So, a DB, Jackson Hill, seems like a logical option here for them to fill a need. Now, the Minnesota Vikings, they want Trent McDuffie. They got another DB. I'm going to have them go Josh Pascal or Arnold Ebikuit. I probably said that wrong. Yeah, I'm going to have them go the defensive end from Penn State. The Washington football team / Commanders, they want Tyler Linderbaum. There's no QBs worth taking. You need a linebacker. Quincy Walker. He's the best linebacker on the board as of right now. Now for the Chicago Bears, I'm going to have them go Josh Pascal, defensive end out of Kentucky. The Bears just got rid of Clear Mack, so they need to beef up that pass rush. The New Orleans Saints are on the clock. Now, the New Orleans Saints, with the first two picks, they went wide receiver, and then they went quarterback. So, to me, that's saying that they can go and get a tackle. But I'm going to have them go David Ojabo. Get younger on that defensive line because they are really over the cap. And they need to make some changes in this season and next offseason. David Ojabo will be a good pass rusher at that next level. And you get him in the second round at 49, that's a good bargain value in my book. Now, Kansas City, they went wide receiver and DB. They need D-line help. Logan Hall seems to be the pick. Some say you may be reaching, but I like the pick. Andrew Booth and Devin Lloyd are the first 2 picks. And they can go best player available, and that's what they're going to do with Nick Bonito, defensive end out of Oklahoma. Just continue to beef up that defensive line to go after and win the NFC least, the weakest division in football. Because so far, the entire play for the draft so far has been a defense. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. They went Desmond Ridder. They got their quarterback of the future. He signed Mitchell Trubisky for 2 years. If Trubisky craps the bed, you can always bench him and start Desmond Ridder. They need a tackle, but I don't like any of the tackles right here. This could be a trade down option. New York Jets on the clock. The Jets move up a couple spots to take their guy. They took Drake London, Ahmad the Sauce Gardner, and Tyler Smith. The reason why I have them moving up is for Drake Jackson. Get your edge rusher. Load this entire team up with talent. It's like Bori Mafe to the Green Bay Packers. Seems like the logical option. So does Troy Anderson. Kyler Gordon. I'm going to have them go Kyler Gordon here. They lose Kevin King to free agency. You get a little bit better person off the ball. And to me, that seems like an easy pick. When the Patriots last picked, they picked Jameson Williams, wide receiver. They need edge rusher. So Bori Mafe seems like he's going to be the pick. Now with the Steelers on the clock, see, I still don't know where to go. I'm going to have them go Luke Gordek, tackle from Central Michigan. It just feels a need. The Cowboys, I believe they went, they went Zion Johnson. Now, Brian Osmora should be the pick here if this is the case. You get another linebacker to go in that linebacker room. And I feel like that would be a better overall selection for them. Now, normally people have been giving Josh Allen a running back. All the running backs are still here. So Breece Hall, somebody that's been mocked in the first rounds, goes to the Buffalo Bills at 57. I think that's a win for Buffalo. They got to get a star-studded D lineman, one of the top D linemen in the class, and they still get their running back in round 2. I like that. Okay, now the Falcons. The Falcons, they traded up and got Kenny Pickett. And got Derek Stingley. So guard, center, D lineman. What did they pick again? 82? He could still be there. So this might be his best player available. This team is possibly one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. I'm going to have him go Jaquan Brisker, safety, Penn State. And now the Steelers, they have another pick, second round pick. And I'm going to have them go Cam Taylor-Britt, defensive back out of Nebraska. Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I believe they took Kenyon Green, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they took Kenyon Green. So, let's just go get a D lineman. Perion Winfrey from Oklahoma. Excuse me. That may be reaching a little, but he won't be there by the time they're back on the clock. 61, the San Francisco 49ers are on the clock, and they need interior line help, and they need DB. But I'm going to go interior line. I'm going to get them to center. Donovan West from ASU. You got to protect your franchise quarterback, whether it be Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it be Trey Lance. I think they're going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo like right before the trade deadline. Kansas City, they took Logan Hall. They took a DB, didn't they, in round one? And DB, yeah, okay. So they literally can go best player available. And I'm about to go Troy Anderson, linebacker, Montana State. You get a really young linebacker that you could build around and like start stacking the pieces. Pick 63, the Cincinnati Bengals. They traded down, and are they regretting it? No, not really, because they would have taken Dylan Parham, and that's what they do here. They get more picks to build around their team, and you can just start stacking pieces. Now the Denver Broncos, they need an outside corner, I believe. And Marcus Jones from Houston, I like the pick. I think he will fit in tremendously in Denver. With that being said, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock at pick 65 in round 3. They need a linebacker. Chad Muma from Wyoming. He's the best linebacker on the board, so that should be an instant pick. The Detroit Lions are on the clock again. And they took a quarterback, they took a linebacker, and they took Aiden Hutchinson. So what's their top need? They can go best player available. And I'm gonna have them go Kenneth Walker to go in that running back room. He can be number 1 or number 2. Hopefully number 1. Him and DeAndre Swift, I think, will make a deadly 1-2 punch. Now the New York Giants on the clock. The Giants, they can go best player available for them. And I believe that would be... Let's go John Mitchie. John Mitchie III. He's falling a little because I believe he had an injury. And they can get a better player who, when healthy, could be a top 20 receiver. He was top 10 in the NCAA. Now the Texans are on the clock. This is easy. Carson Strong from Nevada. Carson Strong should be the pick here. Texans need help on every position. If Davis Mills isn't working out, try Carson Strong. Give the guy some love. Now, New York Jets are on the clock. Let's see, in round 2, what do they do? Tackle in round 2. I think they went tackle, DB, receiver, right? Tackle, DB. Yeah. So they need a linebacker, but the good linebackers are gone. I'm going to go Trey McBride, Colorado State. Maybe. Now, Trey McBride, give Zach Wilson another weapon to throw to. Make him feel comfortable playing with you. Nick Cross to I'm going to go Jeremiah Slayer. Just so we can get an extra tackle in case something were to happen to any of our tackles we have signed already. And then we can just give Trevor Lawrence enough time. So that's all we got to do is give him enough time to throw. Because up next, the Bears, I think they need a DB. And an edge rusher. Or O-line help. For their quarterback. Cole Strange seems to be the pick. Cam Jurgens. I'm just going to load up on edge rushers. Kingsley Bear, South Carolina. That seems to be the pick. And if I'm the Cardinals, I'm going to try and jump up. Give up a 5th round pick this year. Or next, yeah, this year, right? Oh, next year. I'm gonna try and trade up. I give up a 5th and a 7th next year for 73, 122, and 179. Or, you know, I give up a 4th next year. Now the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. Cardinals trade up because McCreary is free falling. And if this were to happen, I see the Cardinals trading up. If you were to fall this far down, we need to trade up. McCreary is the guy. Now the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. The Cincinnati Bengals, they took a guard. And didn't they, like, yeah, they got like extra 3rd, extra 4th, and extra 5th. They traded down like a couple spots. Or out. I don't see, yeah, now I don't see them trading out. So that was dumb on my part. Wide receiver, no, they don't need any wide receivers. Tight end, Greg Ducey. Maybe replace your tight end that you lost in free agency. Nick Cross, safety. For the Broncos, and I have Brian Cook going to Baltimore. Now the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are a team that needs help. Minnesota, they took Trent McDuffie. They took Arnold. So a center and a guard. I have to go Cam Jurgens to get that center. Then we come back to the Browns. The Browns, didn't they take a wide receiver in the first? Yeah, they took him in the 2nd. So D lineman would be the pick. I don't see one that I like. I'm going to go Mathis from Alabama. The Chargers are on the clock. What do the Chargers need? So they traded their first away. Or they took a safety. I think Alec Pierce would be a good fit for the Chargers. Him with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. I like that. Now, the Houston Texans, I'm going to have them go get the speedy receiver from Memphis, and that's Calvin Austin. Now, the New York Giants, they took John Mitchell with their last pick. I think they should. I think they should take a center. Get O-line help all across the board. They beat the Falcons, who need to get a center too. Falcons took a safety. They took a QB. And they took a DB. Safety, QB, DB. Zach Tom from Wake Forest. Yeah. They need to replace those players that I can see them trading away and or cutting. And I see him being one of them. The Tariq Armstead, I think Armstead is his name. Now the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. Damon Pierce. QB. DB. I said we need a tackle. Darren Kennard, I think, is the best tackle on the board at this point. And then let's go Kyle Phillips. Give the Eagles a receiver. Kirby Joseph from Illinois. Taquan Woolen from UTSA. Now those picks, they are just going off of needs and the best player on that board. Now the Cowboys pick, linebacker, I think is going to be the Cowboys need help all across their offensive line. So let's do Sean Ryan, tackle. Okay, so let's get back to this. So the Arizona Cardinals are back on the clock. Now the Cardinals, we took Roger McCreary. We took Traylon Burks. And then we took George Kalafis. So that's like three really big positions of need. Okay. To the Broncos. Okay, so I traded down. I got an extra pick. Now the Broncos, they should go Martin Emerson. Solves the need. Devin D. Marvin Linnell. Solves the need. And Cameron Thompson, get some fresh blood in there. Solves the need. Aaron Rodgers. Christian Harris. I think Aaron Rodgers would be okay with him taking a linebacker there. Now we come to the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers, Amar Davis seems like the pick. And the Kansas City Chiefs are back on the clock, and Demarcus Robinson. Now the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock, and I think that they should go Alex White. And that brings us to the Arizona Cardinals. And that's going to be James Cook. That's the pick. Then we take Kellen Dicey for the no. Jeremy Ruckett. Then we take Kellen Dicey. Then we take DeMar Mathis from Pittsburgh. Then Max Mitchell. Then we take. Then we're at a standstill. I'm going to say Logan Bruss. Romeo Dobbs. Oh, Kansas City's back on the clock. Kansas City's going to go back to the defense. They might go back to the defense. Here. No. Channing Tindall. The Los Angeles Rams are on the clock for the first time, and let's get them a defensive end. 49ers are back on the clock. 49ers are... I think they should go with a running back. No, with a linebacker. Now, at 106, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock. The Jacksonville Jaguars. What do they need? Okay, they got a tackle. They got a linebacker. Tackle, linebacker. Tackle, linebacker, safety, D end. Tackle, linebacker, safety, D end. Khalil Shakir is going to be the pick here. Best player on the board. And that will go along with the Texans taking Zamir White, our running back. Then Braxton Jones. The Seattle Seahawks, Jeremiah Woods. Sam Williams. Let's keep beefing up their D-line. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go Dane Belton. The New York Giants, I'm going to say Marquise, no. Cordell Float. The Washington Commanders, let's go Danny Gray. And the Cincinnati Bengals, Ed Ingram. I'm going to go David Bell for the Denver Broncos. Then Arizona, Marquise Hayes. Arizona hits like almost all their needs in this draft. I like that. The New York Giants. The Giants, what do the Giants need? They won wide receiver, DB. I think they won linebacker round 2. Okay, sorry about that. He needed help. So they took a tackle. And then edge rusher. Tackle, edge, DB, wide receiver. Tackle, edge, DB, wide receiver. Tackle, edge, DB, wide receiver, tight end. Tackle, edge, DB, receiver, tight end. Tackle, edge, DB, receiver, tight end. Tackle, edge, DB, receiver, tight end. So he's a linebacker. We need a linebacker in New York. And I think at this value, Darian Beavers from Cincinnati, he's good value. The Browns need a little bit of everything, man. I'm going to go Rashad Walker. For the Baltimore Ravens, on the other hand, Rashad White seems to be like the good pick. Now we come to the New Orleans Saints. Let's double down on receiver. Let's get Kevin Austin Jr. And we are at Kansas City. Kansas City, they can... I'm going to go Matthew Butler. Okay, for the Arizona Cardinals, I'm going to have them double down on edge rushers this draft. Because we have big shoes to fill, and we don't have that many edge rushers signed through 2022 into next season. So, Maji Sanders is a good pick here. Coming into the late parts of round 4, the Los Angeles Chargers, they normally take a tackle here. Nicholas Petrie-Free would be a good pick to protect and help beef up that offensive line so that way you can rotate guys out. Eagles, Joe Bernard. Dolphins, you gotta protect Tua, so let's get the guard from NC. I'm gonna go Damon Clark from Vegas. And then we have Trayson Anderson for the Patriots. Cade Otton from Washington for the Ravens. Then we have pick 29. let's go JoJo. No, yeah. LNT Taylor. Now the Buffalo Bills. I would say Wendell Robinson. Justin Ross. Kayvon Barnes to the Green Bay Packers. Now the Packers, you're getting Aaron Rodgers some new weapons. I believe you double down on wide receiver. You got him as center / guard / tackle. I forgot who it was in round 1. But you made him happy. You actually got him a wide receiver. JoJo Dome Man to Tampa. Zion McCollum. Here I would go Isaiah Spiller. Isaiah Spiller in the 4th to Kansas City. That's a good value pick for Kansas City. They've got Lecitis. No. I'm going to go Smith from Virginia Tech. Because, like we said a while ago, all the Bengals' first picks should be offensive linemen. You got a tackle, you got a guard, you got an edge rusher, you got a tight end, you got a guard. Yes, they brought in some new players in free agency, but you can just stack your depth chart. That way, in case one goes down, you have somebody. Or if somebody needs somebody, they can call you and you can trade them. I would take Brian Robinson Jr. here. I would take the D-end from Iowa. Then the tight end. Linebacker. Munford. I can see Pierce Strong Jr. going. Then I can see next. Or the best edge. I'll go Curtis Brooks here. I know that's reaching just a little. Cardinals trade up. That's why we traded with the Cardinals so much. That way we can reload that bullet and go for a player if they fall. And this guy so happens to fall to us in the 5th round at pick 149. He's ranked 149, and we don't pick again to what, 185 in the 6th. I'm gonna go Neil Farrell Jr. Beef up that defensive front to go after that loaded division. Kyler Murray is arguably the tied for second best QB, and I'm happy that we got him. Thomas Booker. Cardinals again are trading up. This is the last trade by them, I promise. Daniel Falalehi. Josh Jones here would be a good pick. I know they probably went wide receiver earlier, but you just feeling need. Castro Fields to the Chicago Bears. JT Woods to the Carolina Panthers. Seems like a good pick. And one that some people might actually agree with. Jason Poe. You got to protect your franchise QB and Justin Fields at all costs. Josh Williams, the DB from State. Tyreek Smith from Ohio State. Micah McFadden. So this should be the Seahawks plan. If they don't like the way Drew Lock plays, just move on from him next season. Tyron Williams, move on from him next season and get your new quarterback next season. And just stock with talent now. Ty Chandler from North Carolina should be the pick in round 5 for the Dallas Cowboys. Then the Minnesota Vikings should just get another tackle. Zachary Thomas. I like him more than Matt, that's up on top. Then I would have Spencer go from UTSA, go to the Jaguars. Then we have D-line Eric Johnson from Missouri going to the Patriots. Brock Purdy, he seems like an okay pick in round 5. Same with Kayla Davis. Mike Rose. Tyron David Price. Josh Job. Oh. Then I would go Matt as another tackle. I'll do a tight end. Isaiah Thompson. Clemens. They need a tight end. Price. D-line. Running back again. Get another receiver to keep Aaron happy. Tight end. Then I would have like a little run and tight ends right here. Like little runs and tight ends and running backs and safeties. And guards. Because the Rams, they got to replace Andrew Whitworth. Croker. Chris Allen. Chris Paul. Another wide receiver. Batty. Bo Melton. Hassan Hoskins. And I would go Noah Ellis. Alec Linderstorm. Percy Butler. Jalen Watson. So it was like every Leon O'Neal Jr., like every draft, they have like one person like free fall. And we have Kobe Bryant free falling. Almost undrafted. I have Vilvis Jr. I'll take a punter for the Cowboys so they can get a better punter. Knight, Javon Knight. We don't know what's going on with Alvin Kamara. Zaquandre Knight, they forfeited. On the clock is them. Andrew Stuber and Dayon Bland and Deion Kendrick. Go back-to-back DBs. Jack Sanborn and Jaden Peavy, Jake Ferguson. And here is where I would let Kobe Bryant go. He's ranked 177, and he fell all the way to 201. I know that's kind of unrealistic, but he's gonna free fall into like maybe the fifth, like late fifth, early sixth. And he goes in the middle of the sixth. He's coached by 10 Gid Sr. He's a 6th round graded talent. 3. Let's look at the stats. See, he's been drafted by the Chiefs, Ravens, Bengals. Okay. Now the Zachary Carter is where I would go. Brad Haskins, Jaden Peavy, Devontae Price. They need depth and everything. Caleb Evans. Ryan Van Demark. Sterling Weatherford. Sean Jolly. Center. Wide receiver. Jeremiah Ford, another running back. Connor Hayward. Polk. I know I've gotten like a wide receiver a lot for a couple teams, but most teams don't really have a legit number one, and I believe like John Stills, they are one of them. And now we're on the 7th round. Cade Mays, another tackle. Then I would go QB, wide receiver, Isaiah Likely, running back, safety, tackle, running back, wide receiver, D-line, Smoke Monday, tight end, defensive back, safety, again, because most of these guys will be in the practice squad anyway, so DB, linebacker, tackle, CJ, D-line, Snoop Connor, linebacker, guard, a young punter, DB, wide receiver, Cole Turner, linebacker, Cone, running back, wide receiver, Skylar Thompson, Nick Ford, Jordan Jackson. Linebacker. Tyler Goodson. And Mr. Irrelevant, I hate saying that, is going to be Trey Sterling. Let me know how you think I did down below. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.